Hi, it's another report from inside the cave. It has been another week of not leaving the house. Latest reports indicate that is not likely to change for quite a while. I've officially reached a point where I, as an introvert, is saying, this is too much. Anyway, back to today's video. Have you ever heard about a kid named Jakob Magnus with 3.7 million subscribers? Personally, I hadn't until his brother decided he also wanted to become a YouTuber. And he decided that animals, that's the ticket to fame.
So yeah, today I'm going to be the big bad evil old guy lecturing what is apparently a 15-year-old looking perfect like a 12-year-old.
Now, there is meaning to this madness, because Jacob is using his very successful brother to grow his YouTube channel, and honestly, I can't really blame him for that one, because I would have done that too. The reason for this video is that Jacob also uses animals in his videos. That leaves him with a certain level of responsibility, and instead of showing what not to do with animals and promoting that, he should promote what to do with animals and how to, make sure they are treated correctly and you don't use them for your own personal gain. Jacob has a little less than 1 million views, but 75,000 subscribers, which is a completely insane number until you remember the whole thing with his brother, which basically kickstarts him, but still impressive. I figured we'd just start from one end. If you want to start a YouTube channel involving, let's see, reptiles, how about as one of your very first videos, you don't make a video that is clearly staged and scripted and it's pretty much just a clickbait title, but don't teach your very young, very impressionable following, because I guarantee you his followers are young. The comments are pretty much giving that fucker away in like 2 seconds. That it's okay to get a pretty high maintenance animal with very specific requirements without permission. I mean, it's pretty basic. You don't want to teach kids that because, well, the average child is pretty dumb. I've seen kids. I've seen what they do. I live near some. They will copy things, including the dumb ones. And honestly, I don't think I need to explain that any more than I already have why that's a dumb idea. I'm gonna pull the I'm old card, and I know better than you. Now, knowing he had no problem making that video because at the time he's 14, he is not thinking far enough. He is thinking what gets views, not what is clever. So it comes to no surprise whatsoever that he gladly picks up a few of his pythons and goes, Python, pool. Pool snake in pool.
Snake is pretty big, yo. Kinda narrow. Y'all gotta stay in the pool.
I am 99.9% sure that is chlorinated water. On top of that, his sister, who clearly doesn't like snakes, is in that pool, so let's let loose a few snakes in the pool. Because why the fuck not, right? Let's have a look. Let's get it in the pool, and oh look, the poor thing immediately goes for the edge. Oh no, can't have that. Let's yank it back into that lovely chlorinated water that got into its lungs. So now, of course, you kind of want your full 10-minute video. You need that ad revenue. That snake has to stay in the water for a while. Yeah, the poor thing went straight for the edge. Didn't even flinch in the attempt to get out of that chlorinated piss water. Of course, Jacob ain't having that, so we just yank that fucker back in. Because, why not? Let's see if it gets water in its lungs, because that's probably a perfectly good idea for a snake to do. So, let's do it with 2 snakes.
It looks like a snake version of salmon.
This is a big snake. This one's a little sketch. Yeah, this one's fast.
It's just everything for that damn clickbaity title, isn't it? But see, Jacob here is a bit different. He has his brother, so he knows how to make a clickbaity video, and we gotta again make sure it's long enough. We need that mid-roll ad. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna steer the snake towards his not so snake happy sister.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, yo.
Okay.
It's bigger than.
Merely adding more stress to an already stressful situation. Wow. And you just know this is a kid that has the knowledge of his brother in how to do content. How do you get them motherfucking views here? You're gonna get on that ball. Well, nothing works like a good old-fashioned prank against your girlfriend now. I mean, it's so 2015, but damn, does it still work when you're dealing with kids? Because they weren't around in 15 now, were they? Probably most of his viewers were barely born. Now, this pranking his girlfriend video is serious clickbait. It's just a long video of him showing his bearded dragons, and then he ends up with the prank. Overall, I would like to point in here, he does use loose substrate, but at least it's not sand on his bearded dragons, and just quick look at them, I didn't see any obvious health issues with them, so well done there, I guess. And the bar ain't that high so far, but, you know, credit due when credit's due. Let's get back to the real issue of this video, the title. So apparently his girlfriend, like his sister, is afraid of snakes. So how do we do content towards the end of this video? Because, you know, you gotta make sure people watch the whole video first, which they have now. So let's give them that sweet release. He goes on into what apparently is a garage, and gets his albino red-tailed boa. And of course, when he opens the terrarium, strikes at the glass.
I think we should get the thickest one. I think volume is really what we're going for.
Completely unprovoked. Basically, you could claim this, you know, the rumbling would be unprovoked, but it was very much lying there and then whack. So this is a snake I would probably classify as slightly unpredictable, which is quite uncommon for red-tailed boas. They're usually really, really awesome snakes. They're, you know, I want one. I'm currently in the process of building a massive terrarium for one. Now, Jacob then proceeds to bring the snake into the bedroom where his girlfriend is. Now, what do? We make sure the snake touches her, and she is very squeamish right here.
Jacob, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. Jacob, Jacob. Oh, what the heck is that?
Here, you can look.
No, that's not good.
Lexi, come on.
No, that's not okay.
And she screams for him to stop. She's clearly terrified at this point, or great acting. On a pure personal level, that's a dick move to do. You know, don't put snakes on people that don't like them. It's a sign of respect, basically. Not only is he stressing the animals, which, by the way, it has been determined that snakes can actually hear, so she's basically screaming into its head. Well done, Jacob. He also risks injury to both his girlfriend and his snake, because she could, you know, in a panic state, do something unpredictable. That's the thing about people in panic mode. You don't know what they're actually going to do. I've seen people drown, try to swim downwards instead of upwards because they don't figure out what's up or down at that point. That's the level of panic we're dealing with. On top of that, we've already established this is a bit of an unpredictable snake. So there's a risk of it actually biting people. And I don't know about you, but snakes at a certain point can do some pretty serious surface damage, which looks very terrible. It looks very extreme. He doesn't really seem to care too much about that. And it's a stupid high-risk situation for the mere sake of making a clickbait title. Now, when we know what he's decided to put his animals through just for videos, let's have a look at how he actually sets up his enclosures.
A ball python and a Doom Rules boa in here. Yes, we do cohab them, but it is not an issue if you are experienced with these animals.
Sure, just because you know what you're doing, you can cohab a boa and a python in the same enclosure, which, as far as I can tell, looks like a fucking bird cage. Or is it a rat cage? So not only is your setup wrong for both species, you're then having two animals that come from different habitats in the same fucking enclosure. It's just a massive level of I do whatever the hell I want and you are going to accept it because I said, well, I know better than you. That is not a very good argument now, is it? Because these animals do have different requirements. They do have different needs, and co-having them is not a smart idea. You're basically setting both up for failure. It'll probably take a while, but eventually it'll go wrong. What else do we got?
And we also have our Argentine black and white tegus.
3 Argentine tegus in a single enclosure that at best is 8 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet, which is the size you should have for 1 tegu, not 3. The rule of thumb, as far as I understand in tegus, is if you decide to cohab, which is you should double it per tegu. So 8 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet goes to 16 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. It's just, so it has to be 3 times the size if you want 3 in them, and that's definitely not that big. So basically, there's no room for them to actually avoid each other. Well done, Jacob. Well done. You're setting yourself up for another failure and a trip to the vet.
Frogs and toads in there, but
Wait, what was that? Frogs and toads? Is he also cohabbing them? I can't see them, and I do see 2 different terrariums. I hope they're not cohabbing, but I can't tell. And if he is, god damn it, another one. So yeah, at best, it seems to be lacking a little bit, and I'm understating that one. Now, as we know that, there's something that scares me. Because that video is 9 months old. In it, he claims to have 20 plus animals. 2 months ago, which means there's only 7 months between, he uploads a video claiming to have 90 plus animals. I sure hope he's counting some fish there, like, a big school of cardinal tetras or something. Because if not, if it's, regular exotic animals, pets, reptiles, birds, I just have to say that's an insane increase. He's pretty smart about it though in this video, because he doesn't show all of them and he doesn't show enclosures. He keeps it very much on a table, so we can't actually determine anything else beyond, is the animals obese? That's basically all we can tell is, the face value of an animal on a table, which leaves a lot, because a lot of the disease and such and issues we can only tell from the surrounding area. It's like he knows and he's been getting some flack for it. But basically, getting that many animals in such a short amount of time, first of all, that means 90 animals. I said that's pretty much a full-time job taking care of all of them. Not to mention the amount of enclosures he would have had to set up in a mere span of 6 months. Knowing he already cohabitates species and several animals in very small enclosures compared to what is required, I have a feeling he's doing that, and he's doing it a lot. I can't prove it, but it's just based on what he did before. I hope he's not, because that's just a recipe for a lot of dead animals. It's just gonna lead to a bunch of more problems for him down the line, health-wise for the animals, times of aggression, and all kinds of problems. He should probably kind of just, pull that level a little bit and just slow down. Don't get that many animals, man. He is basically what happens if you take a 15-year-old and let him loose with 0 restraints, who has a fascination with animals. If that was me and I had the money, yeah, that would have happened to me too, because I would not have been able to contain it. But luckily, number 1, I wasn't allowed, and number 2, I was poor, so no problem there. It will get out of hand in a span of a few months, which does indicate that is about to happen. It seems that he enjoys getting more animals and more species more than taking care of the ones he has. Maybe he should roll it back and focus on the ones he has and say, instead of buying 10 new animals, I am going to upgrade this one animal's enclosure and make it better, go bioactive, or increase the amount of backgrounds and, places to hide and crevices, and therefore increases enrichment for the animals. That's what I do most of the time. I don't really get that many animals. I spend more time just upgrading. Basically, he just needs to slow down a bit. He's 15. He's got plenty of time. He's got a very strong baseline. It's okay to take things slow. A lot can happen in 15 years. I'm twice his age. Guarantee you. And trust me, a lot will happen from your 15 till you hit 30. He has plenty of time to better himself and improve and learn more, so he can become this animal YouTuber that can inspire others in how to treat animals right, instead of becoming a YouTuber that just hoards animals to make videos. So that's gonna do it for today's video. But what are your thoughts? Do you think he will improve eventually, or is he just going to continue down this path where it's going to end up crashing in a massive pileup, where he's going to do more extreme stunts and things just to get more views, and eventually people are going to hate him for it? Comment down below. And if you feel like it, leave a like or a dislike. That's perfectly fine. But thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me. And if you want to, please subscribe. That also helps a little bit on my mood sometimes. And I just hope you have a great day wherever you are. And until next time, bye.